Welcome back to Access Anime. My name is Henshin Ikeda, and I'll be doing a walkthrough and review of Hakkenden 8 Dogs of the East, Episode 2. And if you remember from last episode, we were introduced to 3 characters, Shino, Sasuke, and Hamaji. Interesting characters, that's all I'm going to say. Now, apparently they live with priests. I don't know what they did to piss off the villagers. Now, apparently they do live with priests, so interesting to see where that's going to take us. Now, we are taken to a different scene. Now, apparently they're being attacked by 5 foxes from the House of Osaka, so they're being attacked by demons. So I don't know what they did to piss the demons off. Apparently these demons, these 5 foxes from the House of Osaka, they want Hamaji. Now I really don't know why they want her, but apparently she is a survivor from one of the local villages that were burnt down. Just putting that out there. Now moving on past that, I should also point out we see another battle within this episode where apparently we see a spider and a girl that looks like Shino, but apparently Shino's a guy. Now you're wondering, well, why is Shino battling this spider in the forest? I was kind of curious. I mean, it was a sudden attack, and we don't know, is this, spider good, bad, and what's this girl that looks like Shino really up to? I believe, in my opinion, it was a trap where these 5 foxes from the House of Osaka, who were originally defeated by Shino, I think it was a setup just so they could get Hamaji. And guess what? It was. Hamaji has been kidnapped. And apparently at the end of the episode we find out Sasuke and Shino are going to go after her. And again, that's where we end the episode at. And I'll hold my final thoughts and rating at the end of the clip, so stay tuned. But let's dive right on in. So we open up this episode with Hamaji. Just putting that out there. And apparently she's been kidnapped. Now, it's obvious who she's been kidnapped by, the 5 foxes of the House of Osaka. Obviously they kidnapped her. And their boss is Kanam, depending on how you want to pronounce his name. And since Hamaji's been kidnapped, she's been very cocky and, should I say, dare I say it, a bossy SOB. I mean, you're kidnapped, you don't have any rights. Last time I checked, if you're kidnapped, you could be tortured, killed, various things, and yet she's being treated like a princess, and yet she's being bossy. And she has a hell of a strength. I'm just putting that out there. She is ridiculously strong. And again, she's being held hostage or kidnapped in this instance by Kanam, who apparently runs the 5 foxes from the House of Osaka. They work for him. Just putting that out there. So we are taken to a different scene with Hamaji, obviously. And I guess she's having an open dialogue with Kanam. And we find out it's been confirmed that Shino, 5 years ago, wasn't a girl. But in fact, just putting this out there, he had to dress up like a girl until age 15 because that was his village tradition, so he could grow up strong. So he was a transvestite until he turned 15. Awkward. Something you don't want to tell the grandkids when they grow up, Over your head there. Anyways, that's where we're at there. So we are taken to a different scene, and we find out Hamaji was adopted. Kind of interesting. I didn't really care for that kind of information, but it was just thrown at us. So apparently, Hamaji, she's been adopted. And that's where we open up with. Now moving on past it to a different scene. Now we're taken to the Central. Interesting little city. Reminds you of Full Metal Alchemist, the Central per se. Just, I had to describe that for not a dramatic effect, but so you could have an idea of what this city actually looks like. So it looks like the Central, and we see Sasuke and Shino getting off, the train, and they just arrived. So they have arrived, and they're going to try to look for Hamaji. And apparently the church sends a welcoming committee out to greet them and to take them away, to actually go see Hamaji. And I thought, how convenient. And they're being very arrogant and kind of abusive, in my opinion, where they come with us. Are they there to arrest them? What did they do wrong? We don't know. They just how it is. Now, we do find out Ryo, he appears out of nowhere, and he actually is a priest, by the way. He also works for the church, I believe, because he is referred to as a father, which means he's a priest, regardless. And he actually tells, these other priests, which are from the church, I'm going to be these Shino and Sasuke's guardian. They're going to come with me. I've got a hotel, everything from them. We don't need you guys. So he kind of sticks up for them. I was like, kind of wondering why. Now we also find out Ryo's actually from one of the 4 beast clans. Don't know really what that really means, but apparently it has some significance within this series, so I can't wait to find out more about that. So we are taken to a different scene now. Apparently after Shino, is dropped off by Ryo and Sasuke, he actually runs off after checking into the hotel. So he's going off doing his own thing, just checking, the city out in general. So, I mean, figures, right? I mean, he seems free-spirited. And I should also point out Masami, which is this little crow which can talk. He's also with them, so at least he's got someone with him. So we are taken to a different scene past that, and we're introduced to a new character. And I love this character, but I hate his name because I can't pronounce it, so I'm sorry. But to me, his name's pronounced Kabongo. It's Kobungo, I believe that's how you spell it. And Kabongo apparently is being tossed out on his ass by, it looks like, priests or monks. I'm going to go with monks, and they're at this temple, and he's being thrown out for God knows what reason. And apparently all Kabongo really wanted to do was find his friend called Ginpachi. And apparently we overhear these monks talking about they found or have a demon, possibly, something along those lines. And again, Kabongo just wants to find Ginpachi, and he's being tossed out on his ass. We don't know why, but he lands on Shino. Just, you know, like, ironic, right? First time Shino's actually in this city, and he's already getting a person thrown at him. Poor kid, right? You know, poor kid. But sorry, I digress. Now, we do see Kabongo's dad show up, and I guess he's not trying to save his son, but more or less trying to stop a conflict between the monks and his son, you know, before anything gets out of hand. So, okay, kind of interesting, but we don't know what his dad's name is because, you know, it doesn't have a real role in this episode, per se. Now, we are taken to a different scene, and apparently Kabongo actually notices, oh, gee, Shino, I'm stepping on you. I'm sorry. Now, obviously, he doesn't really know who this kid's name is, who he really is, but he notices this kid's got red tattoos. He sees like a red tattoo on him, and it kind of clicks. He's like, wait, I've seen that before. I'm like, okay, this just got interesting. Obviously, you know, Kabongo, however you want to pronounce his name, Kabongo, he leaves the temple, and he actually goes out with Shino, and they grab a bite to eat. Kind of nice, but he's going to regret that because this kid can pack it away. Just putting that out there. But we are taken to a different scene. Now we're introduced to another character. His name is Sarin. Now he was one of the original monks that threw out Kabongo. And this priest name, well, priest or monk, depending on, we really don't know if he's a priest or a monk. He's called Sarin. Now, apparently he has captured a demon, so it's been confirmed, and I believe it's Ginpachi. And he's talking to his master. Now, his master is called Mayoko. Interesting name, but we don't know anything about him other than he's called Master Mayoko, who is Sarin's master. And I guess he's trying to, we see Sarin actually telling Master Mayoko about what's happened with Kabongo and, you know, where's Ginpachi at, per se, like this demon they caught. You're just, you know, updating him, so, you know, it's kind of nice information. Now, we do find out the demon they caught is actually in a human form and has a red tattoo, just like Shino's. Kind of interesting. I want to know what these actual tattoos mean. We still don't know the significance. Does it mark a demon, a half-demon, a spirit, someone that's a slave? We don't really know. So we're taking to a different scene with Shino, and it is the next day. Now, apparently, he wakes up with Sasuke. I'm like, kind of weird relationship there, but, you know, Sasuke leaves, and we see Shino waking up, and a giant dog, I mean, huge dog, like the size of 3 or 4 St. Bernards, maybe, and an amazing dog. I want one of those dogs. It's a cute, adorable, big-ass dog. And then we see Rio appear, and apparently the dog belongs to Rio. I'm like, okay, so you burst into my bedroom, and you don't have any bacon? Get the fuck out. Get out of here, man. He doesn't even have bacon. He shows up with the dog, but no bacon. Some men, you know, sorry, I digress. So we're taking to a different scene with Shino. Now, apparently, we get to know a little more information about how he got his power. Obviously, with Masami, which is his crow, which gives him those abilities to transform with his right arm as well as having a katana. Apparently, there's a price to pay when he uses Masami. When he first used it 5 years ago, when he acquired Masami, apparently. So he never ages, and he's going to remain a child forever. If those are the setbacks, hit me now, please. Those are good setbacks in my opinion, but, you know, apparently he's not a kid. Yeah, at least it doesn't appear. How he's talking seems like he's a little older. But, you know, people treat him like a kid because he's stuck in that, because those are the price to pay, apparently, when you use Masami. So just putting that out there. Now, we found out a little more information about Murazami. Now, Murazami is a spirit blade shrouded by mystery. So he's actually like a katana. So he's like referred to as an object, not so much as a demon. So he's like a demonic object. At least that's how they described it. Now, apparently, to use Masami, you do have to pay a price. For each different person, I would expect that it'd be something different. For Shino, it was actually, you know, you can't age and you're going to be remaining as a child for like forever. You know, forever is a long time. So we're taking to a different scene with Kabongo. So we got a little more information just thrown at us. And I kind of like this kind of information because Kabongo, apparently it's been 1 week since he's seen Ginpachi, which is either his brother or best friend since he went missing. So his friend's been missing for 1 week. And he does say these, this is an interesting phrase. He actually says, what should I do, brother? Or what should I do, bro? So that leads me to expect that Ginpachi is either his brother or his brother's friend. But either way, he does say, what should I do, brother? So it's kind of interesting. And I should also point out that both I believe it's Kenpachi. Both Kabongo and Kenpachi are actually part of the army, or should I say, in this case, they used to be part of the army. They used to be part of the front lines, so they got a little military background going there. So I just thought I'd mention that. So we are taking to a different scene with Shino, Sasuke, and Ryo, and this makes more sense because they appear right in front of Kaname's estate, the house that actually has, well, Hamaji inside, the place where that kidnapped Hamaji. So they're in front of Kaname's estate, and they're waiting to see Hamaji. And I don't know really what to say because we see Hamaji. She comes right outside and she throws a shoe at Shino. Motherfucking, you know, SOB. You're gonna throw your shoe at the knights in shining armor that came to save you? I would have left your ass. But you know it gets even weirder? Then she turns around and hugs him after throwing a shoe at him. I'm like, okay, are you bipolar? Because it's definitely showing right here. Bitch gonna throw a shoe at you then hug you? Oh, something ain't right. I don't smell no alcohol in the breath. She must be bipolar. Plain and simple. Now apparently Kaname's throwing a banquet. I don't really know what for. Now I believe he's trying to recruit Sasuke as well as Shino into his family. That's what it appears to be, so he's throwing a banquet. Now we do find out Kaname is actually showing everyone around the city, and it looks like they're on a date. He's on a date with Hamaji. I'm like, they don't look right, I'm sorry. Now apparently Shino is trying to avoid all the questions that Sasuke is asking him, like how do you know Ryo and so on and so forth. Now I should point out Ryo knows Shino and Shino knows Ryo. Ironically, Ryo assumed that Shino would have amnesia because of what happened 5 years ago. Now obviously Sasuke has amnesia because he doesn't remember Shino, so that's why Shino is actually not answering any questions because, you know, Sasuke, he's like, okay, how do you know Ryo? And he's avoiding the question. Yeah, it must be something special. Is Ryo your brother, Shino? Is fiance? You know, oh, I'm not gonna go there. I mean, what's the thing going on here? Is you guys have a relationship, family? We don't know. So your arch nemesis turned good? We don't know. So we're taking to a different scene with Sarin, and apparently he's spying on them with appears to be a bug, a demonic bug in my opinion, because it's transporting everywhere. And then you see like a blank room with like hundreds of them everywhere, so it's kind of creepy. So we are taking to a different scene with Kenpachi, and just a little information. Apparently Kenpachi, he's a half demon. Just putting that out there, and he's referred to as a spirit eater. News to me, really. I mean, kind of is a little spirit eater. What are we watching, Soul Eater here? Yeah, I just had to say that. Now we are taking to a different scene with Sarin. Now apparently we learn a little more information. Apparently he has a little brother. Now his little brother actually took his birthright away. And that's where we end the episode at. As for final thoughts, okay Sarin, what is your birthright that your little brother stole from you? Either he became a master or a leader of some group or stole something that probably belonged to your father or something along those lines. That to me is what a birthright kind of is. Now, as for Ryo, how do you know Shino as well as Sasuke? What's the bridge? What's the connection? We still don't know. And as for Kaname, what's your catch? Why are you trying to recruit these guys into your family? Or at least that's how it appears to be. We still don't know. And that is it for my final thoughts. As per my rating, 3.5 out of 5. I'm still not thrilled with this anime series. It hasn't wowed me just yet, but I'm getting there. Was there any emotional drama right now other than seeing Hamaji with Kaname? Nah, not really. Fight scenes? Nah, not so much. Information? Oh yeah, definitely. We see the information. That's all I'm going to say there. So final rating, 3.5 out of 5. And again, that is it for my walkthrough and review of Hakkenden 8 Dogs of the East, Episode 2. But again, guys, that ends it for now. So definitely comment down below. Let me know. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Definitely subscribe. Check me out on Twitter and follow me if you like. And let me know what you thought of this episode. And let me know what you think's going to happen in the next episode coming out. But again, guys, I got to end it for now. And I've got one more walkthrough and review to do tonight. So definitely stay tuned. But I got to go. And before I go, I always say it and I have to say it. You can't stop the access, but you can watch the feed. I'll see you later, guys.